Donald Trump is projected to return to the White House as the 47th president.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States.
The Fox News Decision Desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
All right, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Trump won. So what does that mean specifically to us? The Housing Wire came out with a fairly extensive overview of what the Trump administration will look like for interest rates. They phrase this as, our rate's going to go up to 8%. So we want to look at what Housing Wire had to say and if we agree with it. Now, first, in the short term, we've seen the 10-year move higher as it's expected the Trump administration will add to our national debt, creating a strong Treasury market. Quote, the higher likelihood of a Trump administration with expectations of higher government spending has driven up the 10-year Treasury yield, which reached 4.475% on Wednesday morning. Mortgage rates are expected to follow. On Tuesday, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage was 6.88%, though it's climbing fast. Mortgage News Daily has rates at 7.04% on Wednesday morning. And as you know, we saw multiple reprices yesterday, but some of those were actually going in the right direction for us. Again, this is speculation. Rates have been heading higher the past couple of weeks when it was determined that Kamala was going to be our next president. So to assign this to Trump, possibly, but again, it's speculation. Now, the Community Home Lenders of America have an agenda that has already been sent to Trump. The trade group's 2024 policy priorities include reducing third-party service provider costs, such as FICO credit score fees, and they need to come down. That is ridiculous. And eliminating trigger leads, which is even worse. Since I got back into loans, I can't believe how these people are harassing my clients. And proposing comprehensive and effective government-sponsored enterprises that would be Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac reform. As for the GSE agenda that we just spoke about, the 900 million pound gorilla in the room is, should we recap and release Fannie and Freddie? Will that happen? And what does that mean for us, lenders and realtors? Now, ex-Fed Housing Finance Administrator Director, that's a mouthful, Mark Calabria said, it would likely take several years before Republicans could return the companies to the private sector. He put the odds of this happening around 2027, so nothing's going to happen very fast. And former Trump White House staffers have publicly stated that the president-elect intends to remove Fannie and Freddie from conservatorship, so this probably is going to be in the works. One element of the proposed plan includes having the Treasury Department partially back a certain amount of Fannie and Freddie loans through a so-called standby guarantee, which means it kind of sounds like they'll still be in something that resembles conservatorship. And this was brought to us from the Wall Street Journal, where they reported it in September, citing an unnamed source. They go on to say, this is similar to the way the FDIC backs depositories below a certain threshold at banks. So yeah, if they are released from conservatorship, there are large questions about the response from the MBS markets. What happens to prior GSEs issued securities and future risk weighting? Now, opponents to what Trump plans to do say the release of Fannie and Freddie could limit the credit box and result in a higher guarantee fee. You're catching the drift here, aren't you? They're saying there's going to be a higher G fee? I call BS on this one. You see, because Fannie Mae alone, their performance in 2023 was marked by robust financial achievements despite a challenging housing market environment characterized by higher mortgage rates, limited housing inventory, and persistent affordability issues. They were up against the wall. Get this, the company's net income for 2023 stood at $17.4 billion in the worst year ever. That's a $4.5 billion or 35% increase from 2022, the previous year. We can go on this, guys. Fannie has more than enough wiggle room for any type of change of environment that might create some growing pains. So for somebody to arbitrarily say that the G fee is going to increase is a bit of fear-mongering on my part. The truth is, Fannie and Freddie would then get to keep all their profits, which would give them room to lower the G fee in what they're getting in conservatorship, because right now that money is just getting absorbed into the Treasury, where it goes into their general fund, and God knows what happens. It's just lost. Second, more robust government-sponsored enterprises, that being Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, would encourage private investment back to the mortgage-backed securities market. And that, of course, will actually draw rates down. So the question from Housing Wire, that being, Will a Trump administration lead to rates in the 8s? I think it's going to lead to rates in the 6s and maybe even the 5s after we get through some of the problems that come from any type of move. And going out of conservatorship, yeah, that's a big one. Here's all I know. This is not partisan, and it's certainly not foolproof. But under the Trump administration, the first go around, my personal business flourished, and costs in my life were significantly lower than what they are right now. If we can get a conservative Senate and House to work with the president to pull down costs, reduce spending, like they did kind of with the Contract of America. You know, you remember back when Newt Gingrich was the leader of the House and they had that contract? That was under the Clinton administration, where they actually balanced the budget in this country for the last time. That would be great all the way around for everybody. Either way, this is where we're at right now. So best get used to it and control what you can actually control, that being yourself. I hope this helps, man, and keep your nose to the grindstone, because we're in for something, aren't we? Hey, realtors and lenders, this next Wednesday, we're going to be doing a webinar about marketing in 2025 and beyond. We have a shifting landscape, and what we did yesterday doesn't work tomorrow. Check out what we do, because it's all self-sourced. Fill out the information down below and jump on board. I mean, what do you got to lose?